Om Shanti. Om Shanti. हम पहले क्या थे अब कौन है और क्या बन रहे हैं.
What are we becoming?
क्या थे
We have forgotten what we were before. We forgot whatever we were before.
कैसे है क्या करना है वो सदा.
How we are, what do we have to become, that is always in our awareness.
अभी गीत सुनते लगा
Listening to the song, two kinds of work we are free from.
एक गिनती करने का दूसरा माप करने.
One is counting and the other is asking for forgiveness or apologizing.
माप करते मना
Calculating.
मेहनत कर.
Counting and calculation. Who's going to sit and count
दिन प्रतिदिन
as the days go by?
ये दोनों काम भी छूट गए.
We're free from both counting and calculating.
अभी छूटते जा रहे हैं.
And this will not be there in the golden age, and things which will not be in the golden age are gradually disappearing from time even now. One time
बाबा ने सिर्फ कहा था.
Baba had said,
बोल याद है.
which I remember his words,
छोटी मोटी बात नहीं कभी किसी की बुद्धि चलती है ये होना चाहिए ये नहीं होना चाहिए.
some people are thinking about very small things, this should happen, this should not happen, this kind of behavior should not be taking place. It's like a lawyer, and a lawyer would think like this should be there, this should not be there.
जज की बुद्धि चलती है.
The intellect of a judge is operating with patience, but the judges of today are unable to give good judgments.
पर धीरज जरूर रखते हैं. खर्चे नहीं बोलते.
Definitely they have to be patient, they cannot give a judgment immediately.
वकील तरफ लेने की कोशिश करते हैं.
The lawyer has to try to get the judge onto his side,
नहीं ले सकता है.
but the judge cannot take sides.
धीरज रखेगा.
He will be patient,
टाइम देगा.
he will take time.
आज नहीं तो कल.
If not today, then tomorrow, otherwise later on.
अभी अभी जवाब देने के लिए.
He is not under any obligation to give a judgment immediately.
तो बाबा ने ये भी वकालत कंधा था चुराया.
So Baba has also freed us from this kind of lawyer's behavior. Neither I will become a lawyer, I will not take sides for anyone. This is one of the worst jobs you can do.
न मैं किसकी बनूं.
I will not get in between others in their disputes,
जरूर वकील एक का तरफ लेगा तब तो
because the lawyer can only earn money when he takes the side of one and is opposed to the other.
जज को अच्छा ध्यान रखना पड़ता है.
The judge has to pay close attention to the issues in the case, and this is why people have regard for the judge.
बाबा ने हम बच्चों
Baba has
एक तो हम अपने ऊपर इतना ध्यान रखें
taught us children to have close attention on ourselves
जो कभी ऐसी भूल न
so that no such mistake takes place,
चले.
so that somebody has to think that this one shouldn't have done this or shouldn't be doing this.
मुरली में बहुत अच्छी
In
बात.
today's Murli there was a very good point.
याद हमारी जो है ना
Our remembrance
ज्ञान और वैराग से है.
comes from knowledge and disinterest.
जितना ज्ञान बुद्धि में है ना उतनी याद का पक्का है.
as much as we have knowledge in the intellect, to that extent our remembrance is strong and fresh. As much as we enjoy remembrance, we get disinterest from all other things. Just instrumentally we do what has to be done. And instrumentally also we understand the depth of the karma philosophy. If somebody needs some cooperation, we simply connect him with God so that he can take cooperation from God, but we do not give cooperation from our own side. Yes, it is important to have good feelings and good wishes. This is definitely a good attitude to have. But it's not possible that somebody should be especially given or specially prevented from having anything. That is not suitable for our dignity. Things can go up and down, but there has to be faith in the soul. But if I have less faith in my own soul, then people will also have less faith in me. I have had faith in God, and therefore the faith in the soul, if I haven't given attention to that, then it will not grow. Then we think that others don't have faith in me, but it's not about that. It is important to develop faith in one's own soul, and in order to do that, there has to be such faith in Baba that is so deep and strong, such that our stage within becomes unshakable and firm. It is seen that in your own personal effort you need patience and peace, and then the work will be achieved to make a firm and stable stage. Madhuban is such a land in which we can free ourselves from all things and do this work for ourselves. With love, with good feelings, I am giving you this advice that whatever you have to do for yourself, sometimes people find reasons or excuses not to do it, but you must do it. But here there are no reasons, no excuses for why you should not do this. Simply make yourself karmatit, slowly develop that stage which no sadhu, saint or father of a religion can accomplish. Nobody except us is able to do this. And to have such remembrance of the Supreme Soul so that our negative karma could be destroyed. No others can do this. There are two things which for us are very substantial in our effort. I don't know what words to put on this. If somebody cannot make their fortune by which they can finish their negative karma by remembrance so they do not have to suffer for them, this is such a great attainment, because you will definitely otherwise have to pay for your negative karmas. In the path of bhakti also, we were shown an example. We had an example in our garden where a sadhu used to live. He was very famous, and thousands of people used to come to look at him. And he used to sit in meditation in his in his little hut, and he used to think that he was going to go
समय से सातवीं भूमिका में है,
to the seventh heaven.
कोमा में है, सातवीं भूमिका।
And people didn't say he was in a coma, they said he was in seventh heaven.
अभी अभी दर्शन याद आता है, आज की बोली पर
And today's Murli reminded me of him. He was sitting in that stage on his cot.
खाना न
He didn't eat or drink,
चढ़ गया सातवीं भूमिका
and people used to say he'd gone to seventh heaven.
में। उन दिन अभी वो मुड़िया नहीं है,
These Murlis were not there in those days,
खाएंगे तो लेटरिन में जाना पड़ेगा,
because if you eat then you'll have to go to the bathroom.
न खाना है न करना है, ऐसी तपस्या की थी।
So he did such tapasya where he didn't eat and he didn't have to go to the bathroom either.
भगवान के पास पहुंच गया है।
And they said he had reached God.
ये नहीं कहते ये कर्म भोगना है, ये नहीं कहते थे।
He never used to say you have to finish your karmic accounts, settle.
समझ आई है, वंदना आई है।
There was a good understanding.
सोचो तो पहले कभी बैठ के सोच, मैं कहती हूँ किसी को
Now I'm saying, think about this.
फुर्सत नहीं है,
People don't have time even to think
दिल से
about
प्यार से सोचे,
thinking with love from their heart how much understanding God has given. I like this very much, that he free yourself from suffering of karma,
परसों की वृत्ति।
which was also in the last two days Murlis. Because to suffer from your
थोड़ा दुख होगा,
physical karma is very severe,
नहीं होगा तब
and people are not able to endure this kind of suffering.
बात होंगी ना, भोगना ज्यादा महसूस होगा।
Anything comes up and they have to suffer a lot for it.
जैसे कि अभी ऐसी कोई बात है नहीं, पर भोगना
Now there's nothing that's a problem, but people experience things as a problem in their relationships. They have problems with finances and they suffer a great deal. Otherwise, the things are not that bad.
कर रहा है।
The body, the money, the relations are all giving suffering, and this is because it's a payment for earlier karmas that they had done, which were bad.
अभी कर्म किए हुए जो है,
Now the karmas that we have done,
बाबा कहते हैं तो
Baba says, with a true heart,
याद कर, सच्ची दिल से किसी
have
की याद,
remembrance. Do not remember anyone else,
किसकी याद आए नहीं,
so that no one else's remembrance would enter into your mind.
आने से दुख दूं दुख लूं, कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
Not necessary to give or take sorrow, but come into the disinterested stage.
वैराग शब्द जो है ना,
And this word disinterest doesn't mean that feeling that you get in the cemetery which lasts for a little while, but just go deeply into the stage of disinterest. That is there and I'm here. Baba says, become detached, play your part, fulfill your duties.
बाकी अंदर से अपना
But internally, you don't have any involvement with anything.
कोई तलक नहीं है, ये अंदर से इतनी समझ
Internally, let there be so much understanding that I do not have internally any connection at all. No husband, wife, parents. I don't have anyone. I'm just the soul alone. And when you do this, then your negative karmas will be destroyed. And together with that, you have to become karmatit.
जिसको न कर्मातीत बनना है ना, बस
The one who feels that they have to become karmatit,
कर्म में है, पर तो
though they are in the process of doing karma, they do it carefully and they do not mix any personal agendas into it, but everything is detached and accurate. Make sure you do not make any mistakes so that anybody would have to make a criticism that you shouldn't have done this, so that I would be brought into a court and be told this is right and this is wrong.
रखें ना, ध्यान रखें.
We have to pay so much attention on ourselves, not go off into trance, which is a waste of time, but we have to pay attention.
ध्यान में जाना माना ट्रांस में जाना.
So it's the same word for attention and the same word for going in trance. Dadi says, don't bother to go in trance. Ever since the beginning, there have been people who used to go into trance, and then I used to say, well, then what? What is the quality of their life? Didn't change.
ध्यान का बात अलग है.
So the role of trance is separate.
ज्ञान में ध्यान
But
रखना.
in Gyan, to pay attention fully, Gyan means to pay full attention
सच्ची याद.
and have true remembrance, then our karmatit stage will be created.
कर्मातीत स्थिति का कभी बैठ के यदि
And sometimes sit down and think about these things
ऐसे बैठ बुद्धि में
and let it roll around in your intellect so that you can actually experience what the karmatit stage would be like.
जो चीज का रस बैठता है ना वो खींचता है.
Because the essence of the matter in question pulls you. You become free from attachment, attraction. All these things are there, but on the outside, internally, you are just yourself.
Really
Baba has said,
संगम युग भी याद रहे ना, ये समर्थ युग है.
remember that this is the powerful age, the confluence age.
तो कई बातें भक्ति वाली भी काम में आती है.
And there are some aspects of bhakti which are useful in this.
मास होता था ना.
For example, they have the month of Purushottam where they
पुरुषोत्तम मास.
they feel this is Purushottam month, the month for elevation, and so they feel they have to do good things, not do anything bad, do a lot of charity, so they pay close attention.
अच्छा करने का सुबह से लेकर शुरू करेंगे.
And they start doing good things and charitable things from the morning till the evening. They go on pilgrimages because the month is like that. And in fact, the praise of the confluence age is like that.
से
Internally,
कितनी महिमा अपरंपार है.
the praise of the confluence age is so great. Baba is teaching.
फिर उसमें मेरी याद
And in my remembrance,
इतनी बल दे रही है.
he is giving so much power because I, the soul, have to remember the teacher is teaching me, and
बच्ची
Baba used to say, child,
देख रही हो.
are you looking?
बाबा कहता है
Baba says,
मेरे को याद कर.
remember me.
मुख से परा रहा है, कान
By the mouth he is teaching and the ears through which he is listening, but the remembrance is up above.
बाबा बोल रहा है.
And we used to think Baba is speaking, Baba is listening, but the remembrance must go up. Though Shiv Baba is in the body of Brahma Baba and sitting in front, but yet he says, remember me up above.
समझना.
To understand this thing,
कृष्ण कहता है, ब्रह्मा कहता है, अरे
they say,
बोल रहा है.
Shiv God is speaking through the mouth of Brahma,
वंशी राजा ही में आने
and Krishna will come into the dynasty of the sun, and I am studying to come there too. Now I need to understand this thing. You understand, don't you?
समझ रहे हो या नहीं.
So nod your heads if you understand it.
शिव बोल रहा है.
God is speaking. Baba said one time, think about this and write it down clearly what you understand and bring it to me.
ब्रह्मा और कृष्ण
About Shiva, Brahma and Krishna, so that you can clearly distinguish the three. So we went into a quiet place to write.
मैं लिखने का काम कम किया है.
I have done very little writing work, but it was very good to go and sit in quietness and write these things. It was amazing, the clarity that came. Shiv Baba has given him the name of Brahma. He is the father of the people. This physical form is definitely required. Then there is the avyakt form, and then he becomes Krishna. Until you have sat down and really thought about this, you're not able to have stable, strong, accurate remembrance. Because Baba has taught us very deep things of Gyan, but you need very good control inside to identify which things of Gyan need to be thought about and separate all the other things, so that you're not concerned about thinking about other people or what somebody said or did. Because as long as that's going on, you're not able to think about Gyan. So it's important to remove things that are unnecessary to think about. But according to your nature, you start thinking. Now our nature has become such that we think deeply of the points of knowledge, understand them, and take profit from the meaning. One is the negative karma is destroyed, the other is the karmatit stage comes, and you are able to fulfill all the duties, the implications of your relationships. It isn't a difficult thing. You do it instrumentally. And become instrumentally in such a way that whatever any soul needs, they actually attain it. Then, if you give so much subtle attention to yourself, and Baba has said you must have a drishti of mercy, compassion, benevolence, and maintain this drishti and attitude for all time. Then there will be the feeling that you will be among those who pass with honor. This is a deep desire. Everything will happen, whatever it is, it'll be good. Do not think about what I have to do, what I have to do. Just understand that it's done already. And I must come into those who pass with honor. This is my dignity. In front of the Supreme Justice, those who are victorious, they will say, wait, if you're not victorious, if you get held back, it's not your dignity. Baba will give a mirror and show you what effort you had made. Baba will give you visions and say, look. And to emerge these scenes, we want to make sure that I am not in that situation. What scene should I see? Baba is sitting there, and he places me on his lap, gives me the place in his heart. If you have love from the heart, Baba has said, what the one who has deep love in their heart, they will definitely do what Baba says. This is a very, very good method. Dadi had come to celebrate so beautifully yesterday. Everyone was celebrating from the heart because she has so much love for Baba, Dadi Ji. And the sign of love is that whatever Baba likes, you will do that. And whatever Baba's inspirations are, you will do that. This is love for Baba. There isn't anything else. So for a long time, also remember this is the powerful age, and for a long time, whatever effort you have been doing
सहज योगी सहयोगी
to make yourself an easy yogi and a cooperative soul,
योग युक्त रहने का
to remain in a yogic stage
ज्ञान युक्त योग युक्त रहने का
and always aware of the
बहुत
knowledge
काल से
for a long, long time, then at the end
अपने
time,
आप को देख
automatically you will see yourself and Baba will see you saying, "Come, child."
के आओ बच्ची
So when Baba says, "Come, child," these are very sweet words.
कोई बीच में आ नहीं सकता
Nobody can come in between.
तो बहुत काल से में कोई बीच में नहीं आया हुआ हो
And so make sure that for a long time nobody is there in between in your karmas or in your relationships.
पहले से न सब वैराग
Not just disinterest, but we don't have any involvement.
पर्सनल कोई कनेक्शन नहीं
We don't have any personal connection.
किया तो सफल किया
We made somebody get
उसके लिए भी मैं
profit from what they did, but we do not take things for ourselves. And somebody gets excited about someone doing something great, that's also an involvement. So if they did or they didn't, it's not to do with us. And if we sit and praise somebody internally, then this is an involvement.
उससे फिर अपनी गति तो देख
Then at that moment, look at your own situation.
पर बुद्धि को
The intellect must be
दिल से समझ से
from the heart and from the understanding, it must be made stable.
जिसके निमित्त जो कुछ किया अपने लिए किया उसको बाबा
Whatever anybody did, they did for themselves. It's between that person and Baba. This is a point from 40 years ago,
पहले की बात है
before I had gone to foreign countries,
बाबा के होते की बात
while Baba was still in Sakar.
अंदर से आता था बाबा से बच्ची तुम क्या देंगी उसको
And he said, "Well, what will you give this person?" He gives something to Baba, what will you give him?
तो कभी आए ना बाबा इसकी थोड़ी खातिरी करें
Somebody comes to flatter Baba. Baba fails this person.
तुम किसकी पास खातिरी करने वाली हो
Are you here to flatter?
ऐसी आंख दिखाई
And he would show his eyes.
आदत पड़ जाएंगी
You will get a habit of this, and you'll always have to start praising this person. And then you wouldn't be taking from Baba, you get involved with another person. That moment, that scene, I can never forget.
तुम्हारी
Okay, go and have
खातिरी करनी पड़ेगी तुम्हारी खातिरी
flatter this person.
आधार हो गया जीवन का
He will get the habit of flattering you, you with him. You'll get involved.
तुम्हारा क्या हाल हुआ
And what will be your situation?
बच्ची बाप 10 गुण भक्ति में भी 10 गुना देता है
In bhakti, Baba gives 10 times. When you give direct, it's 100-fold return.
तुम बीच में आकर के बेचारे को तुम अपने
So what are you doing coming in the middle of that and trying to pull his attention? You will get a karmic account with this person because you're interfering between this person's connection with Baba. If you think that, oh, without this person we can't have service, Baba had caught me very strongly in this. I said, this is a very good service.
अच्छी सेवा सकती है
So Baba said, what are you talking about?
बताया था ना मक्खियां मार के मुझे पत्र में भेज दी
The-
मुझे मार
just kill the flies.
प्रेम बहन 1.5 साल
Sister Prem was with me. Everybody was very happy with her lectures. Baba called her, and Sarla, whoever had stayed with me, Baba took them away. I was with Didi, and then Baba separated me from Didi. Didi didn't go in the buses. She couldn't get up the big stairs. And I thought I would do service with Didi, but he sent her away. It's very important not to have anyone as your support. So not to, Baba, nobody gives you a center, nobody gives you company. You are alone with Baba, and otherwise you get involved in to get into karmic accounts. Wherever you go, you will get anyway somewhere to sleep and something to eat. If you eat from somebody, then you can just as easily make your own food. Internally, free yourself from dependency and make yourself independent. Baba says, child, your future will become good and you will come immediately into the golden age with Baba. You have the knowledge of the whole cycle, but now who is my companion? From the inside, talk to yourself and make yourself independent. Doesn't mean that you have the arrogance of saying, well, I don't need anybody, because there shouldn't be arrogance, nor should there be dependence. So this is one of the wonderful praises of the power of the confluence age, the quality of your thought and your attitude will create your own nature. Whatever is your feeling, that will create your nature. So your old nature changes your current nature, but you cannot come under the influence of your old nature. Now our nature has completely changed because of Baba. That stage of the self is very strong and natural according to the study, the teachings, the Srimad of Baba. I cannot think about or look at anyone's old nature, nor can anyone think about any insufficiency or weakness of mind. This is very subtle effort that you must make. There's not labor involved, but careful attention. Attention to become very true and sweet. The confluence age is the powerful age. This is its praise. And the praise of the confluence age is there because we are becoming so praiseworthy, because Baba is making us that. Om Shanti. So the essence of this is, do not receive or take hospitality from others, take support from others. Do not have the thought that you need this company or this place, but you cannot manage in God's house. Account is an account. Just as Baba has made us move, so we will move. And we shouldn't have such an involvement or thought about our interaction with people in a dependent way, because it makes us a cheap quality person. We have to be able to be independent and make ourselves a high quality royal person. Om Shanti.